Touchdown.
They check second to 10.
Hey.
Not a day in my life, long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life, as long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 14 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too sure. After a good punt, this offense will start with tough field position inside the 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. He takes us from the 30 to the 34. 2nd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sua Cravens just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Here we go. Check 52 to Mike. Gotta do better.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got Smith here. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Caught here by Bell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 6 yards away as they have taken the lead. With a little over 2 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter, the offense gets ready to take over. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He's looking deep for Bell. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4.
And Brad, they went to a nickel.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with a lucky number. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Check 55, Mike.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. They're going to look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A good kick, 48 yards. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Nice, sweetheart.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Second and 11. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They'll set up a throw. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now second and 4 from the 31. Looking to throw. Complete. Smith has it. A gain there of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. They go play action here on first down. Now he'll escape to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Freeman. Freeman lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on first and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play. It'll be a first and 10 coming up as this offense takes over possession of the football in the third quarter.
Let's go. I'm trying to collect. Check. Hunt, 64. Check 4.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds Douglas complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And he's able to find Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now back to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch the twitch.
And the blitz does come. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted by Kendall Fuller. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Back to throw here. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2nd and long.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 16. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 30 yards there. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the slant.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time. So now we're in the final minute of the game in the 4th quarter as this offense gets ready to take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Diggs has it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Miami, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality.